This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, welcome back. Guess what, guys? It is Funnel Friday for Wildcard Week at the Econ Profit. Today is the day that I've been waiting for. It's the day that Mike already admitted he's been waiting for. It's kept me awake at night thinking about sales funnels. These things are like those visions of sugar plums dancing in your head Christmas Eve. Sales funnels dance around inside my little brain at night. It drives me crazy, but it's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. So, quick recap. On Monday, we did Marketing Monday this week. That was kind of fun. Technology Tuesday was a little bit of a headache. We did Website Wednesday. Yesterday was 3X Thursday. And what's today, Seth Stevens? He didn't get the
Hey,
cue.
Shawn. Funnel Friday, everyone.
Funnel Friday, exactly. So we're talking about sales funnels today. So again, not an agenda, but just a couple of things to think about. We can talk about or answer questions about platforms to use. Hopefully the Pollitt twins will be able to tell us a little bit about their fancy platform. Integrations within funnels, automatic email sequences, which is an important part of any marketing effort, different types of offers, lead magnets, retargeting, and basically all things funnels. But first, a word from our sponsors. Seth must have killed his camera. That's funny. Okay, this episode again sponsored by Quick, Fast, Hurry. Massive business results, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I came up with that myself. I like it. And the Econ Profit, all things e-commerce. And last but not least, meet ShawnHart.com. Entrepreneur Extraordinaire. You like that, don't you, Dale? More online profits.
Yes.
Who doesn't want that? All right, so getting into funnels, first of all, let me check real quick. I'm at work, Ashley says, Tammy, okay, we're in good shape. So sales funnels, first of all, before we answer questions, if you don't already, and I know those of you on the call already have it, so if you're watching the replay and you don't already have ClickFunnels, which is my favorite platform, I put up this page with lots of different offers that you can choose from, everything from a free funnel to 14-day free trial, webinar training, that type of stuff. Of course, it's an affiliate link, but if you go to meetshawnhart.com/CF offers for ClickFunnels offers, then you'll be able to take advantage of the deals that our good friend Russell Brunson made available for us. And I thank you for using my link. So without further ado, who has the first question about sales funnels? Because I'm ready to go crazy on this stuff today.
Okay, I have a question for you, Shawn.
Yes, sir,
Um,
Dale.
in my experience as a buyer on sales funnels, I have run into the point where I bought one item, then I bought the next upsell, and when I'd go to buy the following upsell, my bank would not approve it because they're seeing this as a problem, too many sales from the same spot too quick in a row. So on your sales funnel, are you taking payment for each upsell along the way, or are you accumulating those and then getting the sale at the end?
That's a good question. You know, the irony in this question, Dale, is that I am on the other side of that whenever you go through one of my funnels, because I see your credit card decline, and then I see 5 minutes later you've already contacted the bank, and then the charge goes through. So I understand your pain point there. And to be completely honest with you, when I first create a new funnel, what I like to do is capture the payment at the time of the order, and then once I've proven out the different steps, upsells and downsells, as well as order bumps, I'll change the setting within my Stripe account to only authorize the purchase upon the order capture, and then when you've reached the order confirmation page, then Stripe will go out there and capture it as one payment. And you're absolutely right. I had a huge problem with this back in March with a new product that we launched. It had about 8 different upsells, well, about 6 upsells and 2 downsells, and then a warranty. And about 30% of these purchases were coming back declined by the bank. So we had 11 people taking care of support, and the majority of the time they were putting out fires because we were selling, we were doing about $60,000, $70,000 a day in sales. And so our support team was actually emailing customers screenshots of the declines and asking them to contact the bank. And it took us several weeks to figure this out, but that was exactly what the problem was, Dale. The orders were coming through too rapidly from the same merchant, and so they automatically put a hold on it. And as a seller, of course, you don't want that. So the best thing to do is within Stripe. I use Stripe processing for my sales funnels because of the continuity or the ease of continuity programs, is to just change the setting on your billing to not capture the payment at the time of the transaction. It's just a simple toggle switch. So
okay, so then you do it manually after the fact.
You can either do it manually, or there's a little script that you can use through Stripe's API that will capture the payment after the fact automatically. Not immediately,
okay.
but, like an hour or 2 hours later, something like that, you can run that. So it depends on the volume of sales. If you're doing 1 or 2 transactions a day, then it's easy to do it manually. Otherwise, you just have to do it through Stripe's API. Are you using Stripe, Dale, for your stuff?
Yes, we've got Stripe.
And it's automatically integrated with that software that you use?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, so great question. That's something I would have never thought of, but, of course, I think about it as I'm building out my funnels because I know it's an issue. But if you're doing high volume transactions, just change that setting within Stripe.
Well, I'm working on a funnel that has it's a high dollar item, and it has like 9 different accessories that you can get with it, and as well as the 2 packages of accessories that I'm configuring to go with it. And so I'm trying to figure out at what point along the way I want to try to collect a payment and then maybe do a second payment for accessories or something.
Okay, yeah, good point. Let me pull up a little visual aid here in the meantime. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was kind of curious. Do you have sort of a go-to funnel sequence that you normally, use every time as your basic structure, or do you, change it up based on the product? I mean, kind of how part of the question is, I guess, is how much are you putting in each step, along the way?
Okay, yeah, we'll jump into that just a second here. I'm trying to find this setting real quick so we can show it in the video. I thought it was a little easier than this.
We should, probably mention for Dale, I kind of jumped in here at the last minute, but I think I got my internet straightened out that when we were selling higher ticket items, our merchant account actually was suspended because I think it was Stripe at the time said that they weren't comfortable with our business model. So we went out there and got backup merchant accounts through our bank, and our bank is Chase. And since then, it's been a lot more stable in terms of making sure we're able to process payments when we need to. I mean, if you're selling a product that's over $1,000, I would say definitely look at backup merchant accounts.
Okay.
Good idea.
And
I do have it linked so they can pay through PayPal as well.
Okay, so Seth, on your point there about using Payment Tech, don't you have to go through some type of third-party platform? Is that where NMI comes in, so that ClickFunnels will integrate with Payment Tech?
Right. So if you're using ClickFunnels, they only integrate with certain, like Shawn said, integrations. So you can't use like Chase's Payment Tech payment processor directly. You have to pair it with a software called NMI, and they link to ClickFunnels, and it'll work. Dale, our PayPal account and our Stripe account got shut down, both for the same reason, when we were processing these large orders. So just, think about that as you're going through. You want to protect yourself. And Chase has never given us any problem at all. I mean, they'll take a $20,000 order, no problem.
Okay. For visual aid, this is where you change that setting. So basically, it's going to be under business settings, and then on order payment for my Meet Shawn Hart, which is the coaching website. I have it set on capture on order payment, but if you wanted to change that, you could do what Dale said, do manually, or you can capture up on order fulfillment. So as soon as you mark the order fulfilled, as long as your your API is set up correctly through ClickFunnels or through Shopify or both, then it will capture that payment at that time. So that's where that setting is. Now let me go back to my other screen. And then we're gonna answer Mike's question. Okay, display. Too many options to click around here. Okay, so Mike, your question was, Mike, do I have a certain set of or sequence that I use for each funnel? The short answer is no. I like to, based on experience, based on physical products, info products that I've already offered for sale in the past, I like to take whatever's worked for a particular program and then activate that for my new launch. So in the beginning, when I first started building these funnels, if I had something that worked, it was easy for me to just create a template from an existing funnel or clone a funnel and then go back in and change all the settings. At this point, what I've done, instead of cloning an existing funnel or an existing funnel sequence, what I do is save different sections and different rows within a funnel that I try to use after split testing. I don't know, are you using ClickFunnels now, Mike?
No, I'm on Convertri also.
You're on Convertri? Okay, I'm gonna have to get involved with Convertri at some point and look around. Let me just give you an example real quick. Bear with me here while I change screens again. And this same thing might be available in Convertri. Okay, here's a funnel. All right. Okay, so this is a funnel for the product that we talked about a couple days ago, just for continuity purposes. This is the paddle pad funnel. So if I'm inside of the sales page, and I think I have some stored in this account too. We have a couple of different ClickFunnels account. But if I wanted to add a row, we'll say here, if I go to add a row, I can choose here in this section from my rows, and these are the rows that I put together, that have worked in past funnels. I'm going to use an easy one here, just navigation links. I won't save it, but right here is a navigation link that I can throw in on a page that's automatically set up to go to my privacy policy, FAQs, warranty, and so forth. So instead of, this is what I'm trying to get at, instead of actually cloning the entire funnel or trying to share the funnel, with someone else or with yourself, what I found whenever I do that is I have to go back in and change all the different integrations, use the SEO, and it seems to me that if I do that, then I spend way too much time building a new funnel sequence. When I have to change all the stuff anyway, I might as well just start from a template. And instead of using a page template, I just use rows and section templates. So I'm going to exit this without saving because I don't want to keep it. But at the same time, if you wanted to add a new section, which is within ClickFunnels, I'm sure it probably works the same with Convertri. If the green is going to be your section, so if I wanted to add a new section, same thing, you can go to My Sections, and these will be all the ones that you have saved, which I don't have any sections saved on this account. But let's say, for example, you have this section and you like it. Like this here is a header for the website. I can simply click right here, save, and then just name this section. It'll be like, paddle pad header, save as a personal template. Now, instead of saving the entire page, it just saved that one section. Again, you can save a row or a section, but you cannot save an element. So that's what I like to do. So when I start off, every funnel, of course, is going to have some type of opt-in page for your lead magnet. And it's also going to have, just a second here. I can't do two things at once in my old age. And switch screens. There we go. You're going to have either an opt-in or a squeeze page or some form to get someone's email address, phone number, or something like that, right? So that's the beginning. I'm trying to go back to a different screen, guys. This one is what I like. And then if the product costs more than, we'll say $20, $25, I think it's better to have a sales page of some kind which shows you a little bit more information about the product before you see the order form. It's kind of like, asking someone to write you a check before they know what they're going to buy. So I like to use that sales page as something that basically reiterates all the benefits of the product, what's in it for the customer, what to expect, maybe a couple of demonstration videos or at least one that do not auto play. And then once they click the button to order, it takes them to my order form. We're going to go through a couple of funnels here too, so you can see some real live examples. So I think, Mike, the best way to do that is to start from scratch, and when you find something that works, start saving those different rows and different sections as templates to use in your next funnel. Because, like, for example, I have one FAQ, one privacy policy, one terms of service page. There's no sense in me having to recreate those every time. And since it's all within the same ClickFunnels account, all I have to do is activate that saved row, and it'll put that navigation bar, keeping me compliant with PayPal and Stripe and all the other processors. So what was the second part of that question?
That was basically it. Like, what I was kind of wondering is it always better to go ahead and do, an opt-in, as the first step, or, because sometimes you can actually, put the email request as part of the order form itself. I mean, how much are you breaking it out? Are you trying to get them to take a little step and then another step, in order to work them through the funnel, or does it, versus, getting all the information at one time? That's kind of where I'm going.
I like to test it. So the opt-in page to me is important if we're buying a lot of traffic. Like I said yesterday, for the most part, if someone wants to, if they're not willing to give you their email address, then most likely they're not willing to give you their credit card either. But that's not necessarily the case. If it's a cheap product or a lead magnet or something like that, like a free plus shipping offer, you might not want to collect an email address before you show them the offer, because your goal in that scenario is going to be to get a massive amount of traffic, as much people as you possibly can, to your sales page, not collecting email addresses. Now, if I'm selling a $700 or $800 or $1,000 product, I want to capture the email addresses from everyone who's interested, because if you're going to spend $1,000 with me, an email address is not very much to ask. So I say test it, and you can do that by sending the traffic. You can do a split test within, even if you're using Facebook ads, for example, you can split test the landing page, where they either land on your opt-in page or they land on your sales page, and figure out which one works better. And the other thing that I've done is like you said, if you capture the email only on the order form, you can split test that, where the email is required before you see the order form, and then or that's on the control, and then on the test page, you make it where the email is not mandatory. And I've tested that and seen some pretty crazy results. So at the end of the day, though, Mike, it's like anything else. You have to have a lot of traffic in order to do these tests. So if we're only running, a couple of dozen people to the opt-in page every day, you're not going to have very decent results to look at. But if you're running thousands of people there, then you can split test on demand. And I split test, guys, like color of the order button. I split test, the overall layout of the page, the price, the offer, order bumps, and all that kind of stuff. And most of the time, if I run a split test and I assume what's going to win, I'm usually wrong. So it's really difficult to get into the mind of your buyer, because most of us are selling to people who are not like us. So we are not our buyers. So you have to test that. If you set something up and it starts working, the worst thing you could possibly do is not do a split test. And I'm sure Convertry does it. I'd love to see a demo if one of you could fire it up. But it's so simple to do a split test. I mean, you can literally set it up in seconds within ClickFunnels, and only test one thing at a time. That's the other important aspect. If you test 3 or 4 different elements on the page and one of them outperforms, you don't know which one made the difference. So only test one item at a time. See, Eric posted a question in here. I'd like to connect with Max. I have some questions I want to ask him. Okay. So, all right, Max. I don't know how to make that happen.
Well, I'll just share my email.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. I can. Which one should I use? Is this black
Awesome.
hat, red hat, yellow hat?
Your email, buddy. Everybody's a winner.
Let's talk about the gray hat stuff.
That's considered once you put it in.
Eric says you can find him easily on Facebook if you're a Facebooker.
No, I got to avoid Facebook apparently. Okay.
All right. Funnel questions. While Max is trying to remember his email.
So I'll ask another one if I can. How are you pre-qualifying your traffic? I mean, other than say I mean I am doing your video sequence on Facebook right now. Actually, trying that out. But I mean, are there other ways that you're pre-qualifying your traffic before you get them to your landing page?
Not really. When I'm really ballsy, I guess is the best way to say it, I'll just throw out a conversion campaign, and 9 times out of 10, I don't get the results that I'm looking for. So the video funnel sequence that I put together on Facebook is getting the best results for me as far as cost per acquisition. The hard part about that, you're going to find, Mike, is that you have to be really patient and let that thing percolate back there, because the way I laid it out, and I know I made a lot of mistakes in the video, I apologize for that, but the content's there if you can suffer through it. But the way I laid that out is that campaign becomes evergreen because, I can't remember the exact sequence, but the first set of viewers, it only looks back for like 7 or 14 days and so on. So as those pixel fires expire, you get all fresh new meat in there in the form of customers. So the hardest part is just to leave it alone and let it do its thing. We always want to tweak stuff, but back in the old days in Google AdWords, you can almost throw anything up and start getting traffic and making money immediately. And unfortunately, those days are just gone. We have to allow Facebook to perform its magic and start sifting and sorting out those buyers.
Hey, Mike, here's a good point that I ran across the other day when looking at somebody else's ad. They had set up an ad that was very vague on what the offer was. So it was just like, today only, great deal. And then they had a photo of their product, but they were getting tons and tons of clicks because people just wanted to see, what it was that was being offered at what price, how good of a deal is this? So they were way overspending per acquisition of the leads that they were getting. So really, for me, I would say that I've gotten a lot cheaper traffic if I show what I'm actually charging in the ad, because that way the customers can get an idea and decide if they want to click on the ad or not.
Can you give me an example, Seth? You lost me a little bit.
Well,
This
so
metal pack
the
is available today. Yeah. We put the price in the ad.
Okay.
right, and yeah, tell them what the offer is and what you're selling. Don't hide your sales price, or don't hide what you're selling, because people are just going to click it just to find out versus actually interested in paying what you're asking.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think you're right with the product that I'm talking about here, the paddle pad. In my final ad after my video funnel, it says right in the ad, go here, on sale now, $795. Now, $795 is not a great price to brag about, but it definitely separates the men from the boys, so to speak, because if you know the product costs $795, you're not going to go there and just kick the tires. You're only going to go if you're interested. So, yeah, good point, Seth. I get it now. All right, so this is a super simple funnel. I'm going to point out a couple things in here within ClickFunnels and hopefully in Convertry too, that people kind of sidestep or ignore or maybe don't even know about. So the first thing we're looking at is the sales page. You can see, even though I'm not running traffic to this offer at the moment, I did run a lot of traffic to it last week, and we're just sifting through the data right now. But the only thing that it looks like I'm testing here is having a background image versus having a white background. That's one aspect that I've tested, okay? I don't know what the results are because, I mean, we can go in there and look at the stats, I guess. I can't remember if I ran traffic after this, but I'll check in a moment. But here's the part that I want you to think about. on your sales page or in your entire funnel, they have a part here called automation. And the automation, this is like your best friend. This is your salesman that's working in the background, and you don't have to tell him to go to work. It's kind of a set it and forget it scenario. So basically, you can set this up to do, like you can set it up to send an email. You can set it up to do an SMS text. You can set it up to tag those customers who have opted in, or I mean, any number of things. All right. This is different, okay, because this is going to work for every single person that visits the page. Now, if you go into the part called action funnels, let me just pull that up real quick. Oops. If you go into action funnels, this is the paddle pad action funnel. You can see that there are 2 steps here. So basically, this is my favorite part of it, and this is what a lot of people miss out. In fact, Seth and I we talked about this recently with our Quick Fast Hurry program. We don't utilize any of this stuff. We just send out email marketing campaigns, and that's really not the best way to do that. So you can see that I have this set up automatically. You can see in the green here, it says 2 hours. So after 2 hours, I want this email to go out to who? And you put your rules in right here. So if you visited the step in my funnel called Paddle Pad Sales Page, the one I just showed you, and you never bought the product, all right, this is all customizable, then what's going to happen? You're going to receive this email. What's this email do? Email says, wait, come back and we'll upgrade you for free. Also have the video that plays. Let's face it, there's something you like, yada, yada, yada. If you come back and buy right now, we'll automatically upgrade you to express processing, okay? Then you can see that after I set this up, there were 82 emails that met that criteria of people that visited the sales page but did not purchase. And 29% or 35% of those were opened, 11% actually clicked the offer. Pretty decent. And then you can see, now this is very early. This is not necessarily virgin, but pretty darn close to a virgin sales funnel because I only sent maybe a few thousand visitors here last week but I'm reading data at the moment. 2 days after the fact, this email automatically gets sent to the same people who visited the sales page but never bought the product. And you just choose that from a drop-down list. You can see that currently in queue, there are 56 emails that are ready to be sent. Oops. 56 emails that are ready to be sent to these people who meet the criteria below, visited the sales page, did not purchase the product, and basically the email says, the time is now, introduction has been a huge success, only 3 units remain, claim yours now with a $45 refundable deposit. And of course, if you click either button or the video link, it takes you directly back to that order form. But you can create hundreds, if not thousands of these things. And this is the biggest thing that people don't get. They'll say, Shawn, how do I do my email follow-up sequence? This is the easiest way in the world to do your email follow-up sequence because you can literally sort your customers out based on how they respond and how they interact with your products. So for example, let's say if we wanted to add a new step for this product, we can just call it, let's see, what do we want this to do? This is a test. It's going to go 30 days after that way nobody gets it. All right, we can either send an email or do an action. If we want to do an action, this could be like add a tag to a customer. Let's just go in here and make one real quick. The action that we want to do is remove from an email list. Let's say if someone made it to my email confirmation page, now we want that customer's name to be automatically removed from the opt-in list because for this particular funnel, I have 2 lists. I have an opt-in list and I have a buyer's list, okay? If you purchase from me, I don't want you to be on my opt-in list anymore because I don't want to be sending you marketing messages about this particular product if you already purchased it. Or you could create an email notification. I have this for a lot of my automated marketing sends me an email notification says, hey, Shawn, this is what happened with your email campaign or with your funnel. You can add a tag to a customer, like we'll say, if this customer purchased, the shipping upgrade, add a tag that says express processing, for example, Then when you go sort through your sales, you can only sort for those particular tags. All right. And then your to-do list could be like remove from list and then pick a list. So these are all the lists within this particular funnel. You can see that I have paddle pad buyers, paddle pad opt-ins, just two different lists. All right, let me exit out of this, and we're going to do something different here. We're going to, sorry, I got to start over. Let's say we want to, help me out here, Seth. What can I do to the folks who interacted with this particular funnel? Let's say, oh, here, I got an idea. We'll just do a discount. All right. I'm not really going to do it, so I'm going to do 30 days. So we're going to send an email. All right. Now, again, just like your rows and your sections, you have all your email templates right here. So you can see I have a template here for like e-com profit and whatnot. So use a template to build the email or start from scratch and then save the template. But here's the important part. The settings, this is just for the email, sorry. I need to add rules. All right, so let's say we've generated email that says, here's a discount on the product. Now, how do I want that to work? I can go by their social media status. Like if you have at least 100 followers on social media, I can send you an email that says, here, post this in social media, I'll give you a discount. I'm just thinking off my toes here. You can choose contacts if their action score, which, you know, ClickFunnels internally rates your clients based on how often they open emails, how often they purchase and whatnot. You can sort by hang on, let me exit out of that. Let's say we want to do funnel. So you can say that I visited a funnel step equal to, let's go to paddle pad. You looked at the order form on paddle pad, okay? That's step one. Next step is, let's say that you did not, let's see, you opened the broadcast that I sent saying fun coupons, for example, because each email broadcast has its name. If you open that but did not click on it, then I can say, okay, you open this, add another rule group that says for this particular broadcast that you clicked on the broadcast equal to fun coupons. Now, this is going to sort it out. You had to visit my order form, you had to open the broadcast email that I sent, and you had to click on the broadcast. Now, what do I want that to do? I want it to send you whatever email I designed. Let's get rid of these again, start over. All right, let's say that you belong to a certain email list. So I can sift and sort by people who only belong to a list named whatever, okay? Or we can say product, get rid of the list. Let's say that you bought the product equal to paddle pad Ultimate Fun Bundle, which basically it's a $249 add-on for that product. Now, if I only want to email or tag or add to a list or remove from a list people who bought this product or never bought this product, we can do that. Or let's say we have different email steps, which we do. We have free express shipping and paddle pad final chance. Let's say if you open the email step equal to, I'm not seeing it on there real quick. Oh, paddle pad final chance, which is right here. You can see in this action funnel. Let's say if I only want to market to those who opened the email step called final chance and did not purchase the product, then I'm going to give you another chance to buy. Hopefully that's making sense. 100% customizable, every aspect of this. And this is the part that most people, when I talk to about their sales funnels, they totally negate the idea that they can do this stuff and set it up automatically. Instead, what they're doing is they're going into Actionetics and they're creating brand new email broadcast marketing campaigns every time they have an idea. Hey, what if we just send this to these people or offer these people this one? Well, you can automate this process and it kind of becomes like the what we were talking about, Mike, on the Facebook video funnel, it just becomes evergreen. So now I know, and I have some funnels that have like 15 steps. So now I know that every time someone visits the sales page, they're all going to get the exact same sequence. So can you do the same thing there with Convertry? Do you guys know? Well, you're muted, Dale.
I can't hear you, Dale.
He was afraid I was going to make him sing again, so he muted himself.
Shawn, here's an example of how we use this for a physical product, an Amazon product actually the other day. So we had a comprehensive kit that we were selling for $50, and people kept looking at the emails, but they weren't clicking. So then we had a follow-up automatically delivered, selling them a $20 starter kit, and that one got a much better response for the people who didn't take the first offer at the $50 price point. So basically offering a downsell, and you can track through ClickFunnels if they actually clicked on your offer and went on to Amazon or not.
Yeah, good point. So yeah, you can customize this any way you want. All right, and it works in conjunction with your Facebook pixel and with your Actionetics. I mean, it's pretty simple. Let's finish the funnel here. So we have the sales page, which I was in the middle of a split test. We'll look at the result here in a moment. Then we have the paddle pad order form, which I was going to say, if I'm smart, I'm also split testing that one. It looks like it's the exact same test I have with the background image and without. And then for this product, since it's one of those expensive products, it's not necessarily a template, Mike, but it's something I'm comfortable with when I sell something expensive. And it's basically your payment option: prepay and save, or pay later and pay in full. And then the very next step in this particular funnel is the one-time offer, which is, I don't even remember, to be honest with you. The one-time offer, let's go look at it. Oh, yeah, here it is. So it says, choose one option. All right, before you go decide which accessories you'll need to save big money. The Weekender bundle, which is $99, comes with adjustable paddle, 15-foot tether line, and a 12-volt electric pump for $99. Or do you want the Ultimate Fun bundle that comes with all of these items? It comes with those 3 plus 4 more items for $159, or would you rather just have nothing? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, of the 3 sales that I did on that on Thursday, 2 of them took the Ultimate bundle and 1 of them took nothing. So that tells me that my next step when I start running traffic to this again is I'm going to split test the pricing. We're going to, one person's going to see the page that says add, the Ultimate Fun bundle for $199 or $249, and the other one's going to see the control that's $159. So you're always split testing until you find that perfect sweet spot. I've tested add-ons from $19 all the way to $199, and I thought my conversions were awesome at $19, but I found out that $49 was the sweet spot by sending tons and tons of traffic to it. Let the customers vote for the best option with their credit cards. So that's another thing we could talk all day about, the split testing. All right, and then I take them to the paddle pad order confirmation page. Now, the reason I'm not taking them to a thank you page like I normally do is because the only way to get ClickFunnels and probably Convertry, if I'm not mistaken, to report the exact sales figures back to your Facebook ads is to use an order confirmation page, and I'll show you how I do that. Within the order confirmation page, you have to throw a little bit of a code in here. And the code, if you can read this, is that showing up okay? The code takes the product or the funnel ID, which is right here, or no, I'm sorry, the funnel ID. Here's my funnel ID number 5926679. It says now, anytime someone visits this funnel, which is only for the paddle pad, and they purchase this product or any of these products that are available, then we're reporting that information back to Facebook as a total order value. And the reason why we do that, 2 things: you put the funnel ID because if someone visits it more than once, you don't want to double fire your conversion and purchase pixel with Facebook. At the same time, you have to create one of these line items here for every single product that you offer within the funnel and all the upsells. Otherwise, you'll never get a total. So the only other way around this is to just guesstimate that your average order value is $700, but I don't like to do that. I want exact figures, and this is the only way to get it. So we have 159, 99, 750, 670, 19, and 45. Those are all the products that are available in this particular funnel. Questions about that so far?
Wow, nice job, Shawn.
I know this is a ton to take in, so I don't want to get too crazy. I mean, we don't have to do it all in one day, like I was saying before everyone got here, but it's important that you get the fundamentals down. You know, number one is you have to send your paid traffic to a funnel. Otherwise, you're not going to get any of this information from Amazon. You can get some information from Shopify, but remember, Shopify doesn't let you and I create the exact sequence of events and upsells that we want our customers to see and simply switch those upsells around. Like, we can literally go inside this funnel. Let me get back here. And let's say we want, well, I only have one upsell here, but let's assume that this payment option is an upsell number one, and this is upsell number two. Let's say, hey, we're not getting good results. Let's flip-flop those, and let's offer OTO 1 first. All we got to do is click and drag it. Boom, you just changed your entire sequence. That simple. Now, the very next person that goes onto the sales funnel is going to see option 1 first and then option 2. And let's say that's not working, you can simply just switch it back. Or, like I said, if I wanted to split test this particular one-time offer, all I have to do is click this button one time, and it's going to automatically duplicate the page. And this is super important, guys. You have to test. I don't know how many times I kicked myself after months and months and months of advertising the same product with the same offer, and ultimately I found out that people were willing to give way more for it than I assumed. So now we just created an exact replica of that page. Now, if I wanted to split test pricing, all I have to do is go in here and change the price, and every other person, if I put it on 50-50, is going to see the different offer. Now, where does that report? Let me go back. Now, see, if you're aggressive like me, you're going to take this slider and put it at 50%. So every other person is going to see the different offer. If you want to be a little bit more relaxed and careful about it, you can put this between 10 and 15% of the traffic is going to that funnel. I'm going to just declare this as a winner right now because I don't even want to have that. I'll forget why I put it there, honestly. So now that, let's say the control beat out the variation, you know, off the charts. All you have to do is declare it the winner, and it deletes that. But all the information is still stored within your stats. So if we go in and look at the stats for this particular sales funnel, and we're going to look at the, hang on, let me go back. I think I did this on Thursday the 9th, if I remember right. Thursday, I think it was the 9th. All right, so you can see that on Thursday the 9th through August 10th, I sent 613 unique visitors, which is not a lot. I think I spent about $200 on Facebook ads to do this. And you can see that I split tested my sales page. The only reason that the variation doesn't have a value under, because in the beginning I was testing the variation of having an opt-in versus not having an opt-in, just like we just discussed, Mike. All right, and then on the order form, you can see that even though it's a very small margin because I don't have enough data here, but the control was converting at 6% while my variation was converting at 4.8. Now, in reality, you would not make a decision based on this because there's not enough data there. You need thousands of visitors in order to make that assumption. But even though we created the OTO, even though we, what am I trying to say here? Oh, no, what I'm looking at here on the OTO 1 page, we have the weekender bundle, which you see 0 people purchased. That was the $99 option. The ultimate fun bundle was a $159 option. So 100% of the people who took that upsell took the $159 option. That's why it's important for me to go split test that and raise the price to see if I'm cheating myself. good example that comes to mind is the Slim Tread that I sold back in April. I was selling it for about 3 weeks at $600. You know, it's a $200 cost, so I was making pretty decent money, right? I had absolutely no fall off when I raised that price to $6.99. I again split tested and raised the price to $7.99. I then raised the price to $899 for the exact same product that I was happy to sell for $600 and had the exact same results as far as conversions. So had I not split tested that, I was leaving $300 on the table that I didn't even know existed. Now that's powerful. Any questions? I put you all to sleep.
Good stuff.
What seems to be interesting about ClickFunnels is I have lots of different plugins for my WordPress sites, and ClickFunnels is incorporating what I would have to pay extra for a whole series of things. They're doing all of that stuff together. So that integration is making them more valuable.
Well, one of the things that I want to point out is that, and a lot of people don't really take advantage of all the integrations, Joel, but let's say, for example, you have a Shopify store, okay? Now, we have to admit, Shopify is excellent when it comes to e-commerce because they track the inventory, they track the customers, you can do the fulfillment, you can buy shipping and all that stuff through Shopify for like $29 a month, right? You can integrate Shopify with your ClickFunnels sales funnels to send all the orders to Shopify so that everything's tracked within one platform. So when you do your fulfillment, you only have to look in one place. And here's how you do that. I'm glad that you brought that up. Let me show you real quick these steps. So if I go look at the products, here's my order form. And here's my products. So this is so simple, you're going to hate yourself if you haven't done this yet. It's like my son has a soccer game. When you're setting up your product, okay, you have your settings, which is the price. You have your fulfillment email. You have your email integration, add to the list, paddle pad buyers, right? Shipping, all you have to do, guys, is click Shopify and then use your existing Shopify integration, and it will pass this order right over to Shopify and say that they purchased paddle pad inflatable swim platform with the SKU PP-15X6. And you know what's the best part about this? When you get an order with ClickFunnels, if you have Shopify running on your phone, you still get that cha-ching when you get an order. And I love that. You didn't know that was available, did you?
That's great.
And it's right here. All you have to do is go into your, go into integrations. I'm click happy today. And basically, here's the Shopify integration. So if you just search for Shopify, pull up the integration, it'll say, do you want to log into Shopify? Yes, put in your information, you're done. Now, every single product that you create in ClickFunnels can pass the order over to Shopify. It's super simple.
Hey, Shawn, know if that integration to Shopify will also link to Shopify fulfillment through FBA?
That'd be a question for you. I mean, let me see something real quick. If I can remember how to log in. I think it's, yeah, there we go. Ask anything. I'm an open book, guys, if I can get this thing to log in. So if we go here and look at the orders, I think this is the Shopify, yeah, UD buy. This is where I'm sending it. You can see, like, this particular person right here, Britt Reynolds, purchased the paddle pad inflatable swim platform. Now, let's say if I wanted to fulfill that product, which I'm not fulfilling it from here, I'm fulfilling it from a factory, but if I wanted to fulfill that, I can actually go in here and create a shipping label or have my fulfillment center log into my Shopify store as an authorized user and create a fulfillment order. So tell me, Seth, from here, how do you pass this to Amazon FBA?
Well, you should be able to scroll down and see like the fulfillment options. But I mean, since the order is pulling into your Shopify orders just normally, I'm guessing that would integrate fine. And so that would mean that you can take an order through a ClickFunnels page and Amazon would fulfill it for you with straight out of your inventory that's already at FBA.
See, this is the beauty right here. From ClickFunnels via import. And this is where I missed the boat for so long. I was actually creating these CSV files and then importing or migrating the data over to Shopify. Not because I was selling it on Shopify, but because Shopify is excellent when it comes to tracking customers and fulfillment orders and inventory and that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, guys, ClickFunnels is it's not set up for e-commerce or for a shopping cart, but it's imperative to use a sales funnel to walk the customer down a sequence or a path that you want them to take, and then pass the order to Shopify and let Shopify perform their own magic. Before I forget, here's another thing that I see people messing up with a lot is when they're actually within their sales funnel. That's my action funnel. Let me go back. And the sales page. So you can see that my sales page, my control sales page still has the email opt-in. But here's where people are screwing up. And the only reason I want to point this out is because I did this. Like I'm at a live event, and creating these landing pages on the fly so that I can capture some email addresses from the audience after I do my presentation. So, I mean, I think I did this at Ben Cummings in Vegas. Remember, Seth, we spent all that money to put this together, and I forgot to set up the integration. So if you have an opt-in form on one of your pages, if you don't go into your settings and click on integration and tell ClickFunnels what to do should someone fill in that form, you're not going to capture anything unless the person makes a purchase. And I don't know how many times I've made that mistake, and I'll probably continue to make it, but learn from my mistakes, please. Don't do that. We spent thousands of dollars, and I flew into Vegas from Singapore to do this event, and we had hundreds of people sign up, but we captured no emails. It was insane.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was me.
Use every page, test every button.
Yeah, we should, but I was in a hurry. I think I built the landing page on the plane and just ran with it. So,
Shawn, I have a question for you.
Yeah, please. That sounds like Dale.
That's Lyle.
Oh, Lyle, go for it.
We look alike too. When you give on your funnels, when you have people have the option to, would you rather pay with PayPal or would you rather buy on Amazon, what percentage split off those ways?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of one that I had the most amount of traffic. I don't know. I don't know an exact answer to that, Lyle. I know that I was selling that one product I was telling you about for $8.99, and I sold in 1 month's time, I sold about 1,200 pieces at $8.99. We did a little over $1 million, like $1.1 million with upsells and everything. And probably, Seth, how many of those went to Amazon? Because you were managing that on your side, about maybe 20?
Yeah, it wasn't very many, but I mean, there were still people paying 50% more to buy on Amazon.
Yeah, I was $8.99 on my sales funnel, $1,200 or $11.97 on Amazon, and we had, I'm guessing 20 or no more than 25 people went to Amazon to order, and about, I would say less than that, Lyle, like let's say 10 or 12 people used the PayPal option through Shopify. Now, I was surprised. I thought it would be a lot more than that, but it wasn't. But in reality, they're already leaving the site. So if they're going to go to PayPal or Amazon, all those sales, collectively, if it was 40 sales, it was something I would have not had I not set up that exit pop.
And they're willing to pay quite a bit more for supposed security to purchase on Amazon.
Exactly. And with that particular product, $8.99, I have maybe, I mean, we're not going to have time to do it today because that's a huge funnel with a lot of steps. But one of the biggest money makers in that particular funnel was I had the light version, LITE, that sold for $4.99. So for everyone that went through the entire funnel sequence, all my follow-up emails, retargeting on AdRoll, retargeting on Facebook, and they still didn't purchase, then we hit them with the light version for $499. My cost was like, $139, $149, something like that, and we captured a ton of orders through that process. So if you do a stripped down version of your product or your bundle, and then hit those people who've already shown interest in the product and the offer with that stripped down model. I mean, the sky's the limit on what you can do with that. And then you go back and upsell and cross sell and downsell. I mean, it's, they're not done until they say they're done.
Nice.
What was that?
Yeah, if I have a $50 product and I have, let's say, $20 to acquire a customer, would that be doable on ClickFunnels?
If you had a $15 sell price,
50, yes, 50, and then on that 50, I have, let's say, $20 that I can spend to acquire a customer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll show
Would that
you.
work?
We talked about the stroll, right? So here, and this is a $20 product, Eric. Okay, so it does not require a sales page. It's a pretty simple decision. $20 is $20, or 20. You would call it. What do you call it over there in Portuguese? Portugal?
What are you trying to say?
Dollars. Like the English, they say quid or something. 20 quid.
No, here is euro.
Oh, euro. Okay, 20 euro.
Yeah.
All right, so this product is pretty cut and dry. It's $20, take it or leave it, okay? Oh, and this brings up another thing that I promised I'd talk about yesterday. But for this product, it's $20, buy one, get one free. My cost is I think it's 80 cents or $1 and change, I forget. So it doesn't require a sales page. All of my traffic lands right here on the order form, and it's super simple. You can see it follows the exact same sort of layout as the other one. But what I like about the two-step order form is that once I fill out my name and my email and my phone number, I've already captured that. By the time you go to step 2 and have to put in your credit card, we've already created a lead here that we can follow up with through email, through text, SMS text messaging, or through retargeting. All right. And then, of course, the video here is just for continuity. It's the exact same video that they've seen on Facebook that brought them into the sales page. So this product was $20 was the sale price. And if I'm trying to think about, if I thought I could bring it up easily, I would just show you the campaign. But I think my CPA here was like $4 or $5 for each one. So to answer your question, yes, especially if the product is something that people like, if it's demonstrable and it has that wow factor. You guys are familiar with this product that I'm selling, right?
Shawn, please, Shawn, explain to me, stop right there. Why you feel it's better to have all this information in the form there rather than just the top 3 lines and then have the rest of that on your second step?
Here's a good example of my pop-up. So Lyle, you said, why is it better to have the information on the order form?
No, I'm trying all the shipping address and everything on the first page as opposed to the second page where they put in the credit card info.
Well, this is my personal preference. I don't have any exact data to give you on that, but for me, if you put too much information, you're asking for too much on page 1, then it's a big hurdle or it's a bigger barrier to get the order.
But you have quite a bit on page 1.
I did? Oh, you mean do it backwards, like ask for the credit card first and then the billing information?
No.
I think he's saying, why not just ask for the name and email address, and then when you're asking for the credit card, ask for the address at the same time.
Well, if you had a sales page that asked for the name and email address, then you're just being redundant if you ask for it on the order form. But in this case, guys, remember, I didn't have a sales page. I'm dropping the traffic directly into the order form. So I want to capture the lead in case you back out and don't complete your purchase. Does that make sense, Dale?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the best way to do it. It's just the way that I do it. I'm trying to think, think like a fish and not like a fisherman.
I think what Lyle or Dale is mentioning is, could you have a second page to your sales page and just get the name and email address first, and then get the address, and then get the credit card? Is that what you guys were thinking? instead of having all that information.
Yeah, getting the address and credit card information on the second step rather than this first step here.
Yeah, because it does look like you have to give an awful lot of information at that point, Shawn. I think that's what I look at that and I say, that's a lot of information. Where's just my name and my email address, and let's go to the next page.
I don't know. You could be right. I think you're wrong because we're looking at an order form, not an opt-in page.
I'm
Right.
looking at it. If you're going to order something, you're going to have all that information delivered anyway. So if you're looking at that,
Yeah.
thinking you're going to buy it, you know you're going to give them that information, get it over with, and then just worry about the credit card.
The
I'm not
hardest thing
disagreeing.
to do, Max, is to get someone to give you their credit card number.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. Don't get me wrong. I was trying to clarify what I thought Dale and Lon were trying to say. I agree that if they're already expecting to pay, then yes, let's put it all together. But my impression of their question was, should you break it out? I agree. If they're already being sent to a sales page, they're expecting to get that data.
Now, I do have some funnels in my other account where this entire order form is just one form. But when I started using the two-step order form, I was gathering thousands of leads versus hundreds of leads because a lot of people, believe it or not, and I mean, we can do a lot of things about it, but we can't fix it 100%. A lot of people abandon their shopping cart, just like they abandon the order form.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high barrier for me to ask for your credit card. But to get your name, email address, and the integration.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, you said you were running YouTube ads on this particular offer, right?
This one here, I did a YouTube ad and Facebook ad.
How does that compare to Facebook, for example, price-wise?
I don't have the results in front of me. I don't want to just make something up. I mean, it was profitable. I stopped selling the product because, not because it wasn't selling, it was selling good, but I'm in the process now of having my own videos and stuff produced for this. Like the video you seen of the little girl, that was just like shot. Like I took this video of her while she was on my boat, a friend of mine's daughter, just because I didn't have anything else to go with. So right now, what I really need to do for this project is to give the product to a professional videographer and have some footage created. Once I do, I'm going to run with it. But right now, it's just kind of up in the air. I mean, I've proven that it's viable, and now we're in the process of rolling it out. And in order to do that, I have to go back and redo or create some things and make it correct. I'm all about testing quickly and finding out if it works first. And then once I prove that it works, then I go back and reinvent myself. And the same thing I'm doing with that inflatable pad. I've already proven that people are willing to buy it. It's profitable. People like it. Now I'm going to deliver a few orders, get some feedback from the customers before I go buy, 1,000 of these things and have them in stock. And I'll create my own videos because the videos for that product also, I basically just borrow those from YouTube. I mean, they're not mine. Someone else created that. Let me talk about this real quick before we move on. Remember yesterday when I said you had to optimize for mobile? So this is a prime example. If you look at within the funnel here, you can see where this element, the 20 buy one, get one free, it says desktop only. And the video also says desktop only. So one of the things that you definitely have to get in the habit of doing when you start building out these sales funnels is look at it in mobile. So if I change the view to mobile, this is what it's going to look like if someone looks at this thing on a smartphone. And you can see that I changed this element to better fit the screen of a mobile device. That's why it says mobile only. And then the PayPal logo is mobile only. This means that the PayPal, like shop with PayPal, shows up not in a pop-up, but naturally, organically on the page, only if you're on a mobile device, because most people shopping on mobile would rather check out with PayPal because it's quick and easy. And then I show it again here, mobile only. So again, if you go look at this page, okay, this is the sales page on desktop. If I look at the mobile version of it, it's nice and clean, mobile friendly. See? And if it's not, then you have to make changes. That was the other promise I made I was going to talk about yesterday.
Just on a side note, if you don't mind, Shawn, is you've got PayPal. Any reason other than their terrible fees You don't use Amazon Pay as a way of justifying or solidifying the fact that you have a good product. People see
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely an option, Max. I haven't messed with it.
Okay.
When you're within your Stripe account, you can set up all different types of payment. Like you can even use Alipay if you want, Alipay or Apple Pay with an iPhone. Yeah, but I mean it's something to play with definitely. But this early on, I mean all I'm trying to do is prove that it's viable. But that's definitely one thing that I would check into once things start taking off.
Well, not just this, on any of your options. And the reason I mention this is Keith. He's the guy that I met anyway. I don't know if you know him through, but he basically added Amazon Pay, made it actually very difficult for them to use because they have a $20. If somebody disputes it, you have to pay $20. I mean, it's really not good. But he says his conversion rate went through the roof because people saw the Amazon and it kind of made it felt like they were buying from Amazon, but they weren't, but it made it look like it was Amazon, that social proof.
I like that.
Yeah, he says his conversion rate just went crazy. I don't know the
Seems
exact
like,
number.
it seems like we used Amazon Pay on some other deals, maybe Seth on our Shopify stores or something. Where did we use Amazon Pay before? I forget.
So when our merchant accounts got shut down, we tried to use Amazon Pay, and then it got shut down as well because we were selling like a digital high-priced product.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. You can easily integrate. It's already a tool within ClickFunnels, and it's already a tool in the API on Stripe. But like I said, I mean, you have. Let me look real quick. How many different processors can we use?
He actually tried to make it a deterrent. He made it a smaller. I don't remember all the details. He told me, he says, I did everything I could for people not to use Amazon Pay, but he wanted that little Amazon emblem, Amazon Pay, for that social proof. And he says it really made a difference when he had it and when he didn't have it.
So here are the options that you can have just with the Stripe, just the natural Stripe API. So you can have Alipay, Amex Checkout, Bank Contact, EPS, GiroPay, Ideal, MassPass, WeChat Pay. This is kind of a new one. Visa Checkout, and then you can also do Apple Pay. I thought Amazon Pay was an option too, but maybe not. Maybe Amazon Pay is one of those deals where you just have to set it up within your Amazon seller account and then put the HTML code in there, right?
Well, it's not through Amazon Seller. It's separate. It's just like Stripe on its own.
Okay. Yeah, definitely something to think about.
It's more of a social proof thing, I believe. My understanding. I don't use it, but I just wanted to share that. That's all.
Yeah, I like that because just like you said, just putting the name Amazon there, even if it says Amazon Pay, automatically gives you more credibility. I mean, especially if I'm an Amazon shopper and I see Amazon Pay, I'm going to feel more comfortable with it. So, good hack. That's like handing the guy a teddy bear, even though he's your buddy, he's going to bring it back at night, right? Hey, we got a winner here.
Yeah.
We used to call that sticking the joint. Hey, look, that guy won one, honey. I can do it too.
That's right. Hey, what are you, a loser? You can't win one for your bride? Come on.
Exactly. I love carny talk. All right. What else? What else did we talk about yesterday? We got another 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so. Questions, anyone? Dale, you want to give us a run through of Convertry?
Yes, I can do that if you would like me to do that.
I'd love to see it. I haven't looked at it yet. It's on my to-do list. Let me make you a presenter, buddy. We get to see all your browser history.
Yeah, right. All right.
You should have just gotten an invite.
Oh, I don't see it.
Eric wants to know if I provide any training specifically to ClickFunnels, and the answer is absolutely. I got lots of goodies on that, so shoot me an email and I'll give you some details. ShawnHart317@gmail.com.
Awesome.
I found a lot of training videos on YouTube for most of all these things too.
That sounds like Lyle again.
It is.
Hey, would you rather listen to some guy you don't know on YouTube, or would you rather listen to me, Lyle? Come on.
Oh yeah, you're way better looking. in your dreams.
Dale, did you get the invite to present?
I don't see where is that supposed to pop up? I don't see it.
Chat box.
Did you do the screens, or are you using your screen?
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Hey, Slate said he's leaving. He just signed up for Insiders.
Okay, am I sharing now?
I don't see you yet.
Yeah, this must be yours. It's different. Scooter Upton, is
Okay.
that you?
Pardon me?
Yeah,
Scooter Upton, is
we're
that
seeing
you?
it, Dale.
Oh, you're seeing the Convertory page now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is where it shows my campaigns. And I'm currently working on this one. And when you get into it, it shows you, you can import a page, you can start a new page, and it shows you a layout of your pages, and you can lay them out in the order that you want them to go through so you can see your flow. I kind of like that, laid out like that. Convertory does not have a built-in email program like Actionetics, but you can access that, and when you're on a page here, it was loading real fast before I did this connection.
I think you and Seth are using the same internet.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't think so. But if you do click on the Forms button, this is where you configure your autoresponder. I'm using GetResponse. You've got Aweber and MailChimp and all of these others that are listed here. And then you have a post-submission redirect that you can set up as well and tell it which page you're going to go to next. That's all part of that. So I've got it here set up to go, and I can set up exactly which one of these I want it to go into on my page over here. So, you can do all of these same type of things so that you can get to the people that you want to get to. And so this is, it's really easy to use. It is a what you see, what you get interface. So pretty easy to use from that standpoint. I'm currently changing it because I'm going to put the opt-in here before they view the video. I'm going to put this up in this point, and here I've got a separate page for selecting the color. I'm probably going to add that back to that page, and then we go to whichever one. And this is where we have the order form. And what you do is you tie a product to a page.
Now, Dale, if you say you wanted to create a variation, like another order, like a different color, yellow, could you just duplicate an existing page and just change the photo?
Exactly. You can clone pages, you can clone funnels, and you can clone elements within funnels.
Okay.
And you can see if you want to take an element, one of these elements here, you can, all of these elements I built just by cloning them and just changing the text in them.
Okay. And then do they have templates for you to use when you're building those elements?
Yes.
They have templates, but I created them all from scratch in this.
Wow, that looks good for an old country boy.
And the thing is, I'm just learning it. I've been really concentrating on funnels for about the last month and a half, and we're building out some funnels for the process that Seth is talking about, where you do the rebates and the 50% discount through Facebook campaigns and using, let's see, I'm going to get back to campaigns.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just took your screen. Give me a second. Okay, you're good now. Go for it.
Okay. So we're setting up this, I've started working on these particular funnels for the rebate. but I haven't yet figured out how to integrate and use it in. I want to use like ManyChat to work with Messenger, and I haven't figured all that out yet. So this is where I am in the process of getting some of this stuff done as well.
So you were at my funnel training event in May here in Tampa, right, Dale?
That's correct.
Is that what kind of got you fired up and decided that you want to start working on your sales funnels?
That's part of it, and I also realized I needed to have some higher dollar items, and so I went to ASD and found some higher dollar items that I could sell, that I can drop ship, because I don't have the cash to buy a big inventory.
I didn't pay close attention to the actual offer, but you're going to try my hack about doing a deposit to secure the order, or are you trying to get paid all up front?
Well, on this, I'm going to have to get more than that up front because of the base price is going to cost me when I ship it. So,
okay, but are you buying inventory?
What I'm looking at, and I don't know how to integrate it yet, but I'm looking at the PayPal and using the PayPal credit button on my site.
Oh, nice. Are you buying inventory up front, Dale, or are you trying to prove the concept first?
I'm trying to prove the concept. I own 3 of those scooters right now that I can sell.
So if you can take an order, and if you get the same results that I have and have over 60% of the people go ahead and prepay for it, would it be worth you trying the low down payment, low barrier?
I don't know that I could be able to do that until I get more sales in on it.
I got you. Okay, because really what my deal says, and the psychology behind that, like I said, is a super low barrier to entry with that low down payment. But it says that we're going to charge you before we ship. So even though you're telling me you're only getting $49 down, I know that I'm going to pay you in full before you ship it. So in reality, you're not buying the inventory until after it's sold and paid for. So it's worth a try, buddy.
Well, that might be worth it. But what I really would like to try to do is if I can integrate the PayPal credit button into the funnel somehow.
Look at Affirm, AFFIRM, Affirm Financing, and ACIMA.
Okay.
ACIMA. You can put there's a simple link that you can put right on the website for high price product. Customer can get non-credit check approval, 12 months same as cash instantly, and the limit's it's around $2,000 limit. So this product, what's it sell for? $1,000?
Oh, with the scooter?
Right.
That was $2,700.
Well, a SEMA might not work, but Affirm financing would work. Just do a Google search for mobility products, no credit check financing, and you'll get all kinds of results. But those guys are super easy to integrate, and the customer can just request a link. It'll send it right to their cell phone, fill out a few options. They don't even ask for a social security number, and then they'll get approved right on the spot. You, as a merchant, receive an email immediately that says, hey, Seth Stevens is approved for this mobility scooter, and then you'll know how much he's approved for. So then you interact with the customer after the fact and say, look, you're approved for $2,500, whatever, or $2,700.
What's the name of the other place? Affirm and what?
ACIMA, but really, Lyle, just Google search it, because a lot of those no credit check finance companies, they have certain industry or niche that they're comfortable with. And I'm sure there are some for mobility products. Like ACIMA, for example, is what we use for our mattress stores, because they specialize in mom and pop furniture and bedding stores. I mean, they'll do bicycles and scooters too, but their specialty is bedding. And I'm sure that there's a no credit check financing option out there that specializes or leans more toward mobility products because they know the industry.
Okay. That sounds good. I'll look into that. If you're still seeing my screen, I thought I'd just show you that they have lots of help things for you to look at. For instance,
sorry, Dale.
Okay.
I have a question for Dale, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I know you've worked hard on this to get it where it is. Are you going to do something similar to what Shawn just showed, where you're buying the product and now you're going to bundle other products as an add-on? Because I noticed there was a form sheet that people just clicked off what they wanted. Would you consider, or are you going to look at what Shawn has showed us earlier, where here's the product for $2,700. By the way, we're going to go further down this funnel where, for another $199, I can give you this, this, and this.
That's a real good.
I have on that page. If you want to give me back, I'll go back and show you on that page. I have several upgrade options on that same page.
Yeah, but it's on the same page. It's not.
I don't.
There you go.
I think the sense of urgency that Shawn loves to give people is, here's your one chance. I'll give you this for $199, or you can buy it individually.
Let me get back to that campaign, and I'll show you here. I have a couple of options for.
I don't know if I lost it or.
He's presenting now. What Max is trying to say is that the whole essence and value of a sales funnel is that you increase the the cart value, increase the average order value by offering all these upsells. It's just a shot.
I understand.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone there yet because of that first question that I asked today about the fact of the credit card company declining the second or third sale on a page. So I put it all on one page. On this page, the page, according with my settings, sells the product for $2,700. Okay? So that is already in the page. And so these order bumps are for the additional items that are available for sale. And I put together this package that includes the first 4 items that are down here in this section.
Okay.
That they could get individually. They save $50 by doing that. Or if they want the convenience package, it includes these first 3 items here. Okay, for a savings of $26. And so I put these here and I put something underneath each one of them that says this is included in those packages. And then I have other popular upgrades down here as well that they could add these on as well. So currently, all of the upgrades are on one page. I'm really considering taking these other popular upgrades to a second page at a minimum.
I like your idea of having multiple upsells available. Just choose what applies to you. I like that you're testing that. I'm anxious to see how that works.
You think this is a viable model to do it all on one page like this, Shawn?
Well, the first time I ever tried it was the example I just showed you with the paddle pad, where I had 3 choices on one page, and I like the way. I mean, I don't have much data yet, but 2 out of 3 buyers took the most expensive package because it looks better when you do a side-by-side comparison versus, remember, Dale, when we did the adjustable bed, we showed them the main package, and then we piecemealed it, and then we showed them the main package again. I like having the multiple choices better, personally.
Well, and for part of my thinking was this is a high-dollar item, and I'd like to show the people all of their choices before I ask them to make the purchase.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if that's good psychology, but that was my thing.
Can I be 100% honest from a hustler's angle?
Sure, go ahead.
I think what you're doing right there, you can easily do with a shopping cart. So the idea of the sales funnel is that you walk them through a systematic process that increases order value. So test it both ways. I like what you have with the multiple options, but in reality, you're going to get a lot more people bite at a $49 or even a $19 down payment. I mean, do $19. It doesn't matter. You're not going to buy the product until you've actually captured the order. But lower that barrier to entry so that you have more people on the front end taking the offer, and then show them their options. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I had forgotten the idea of you pay for it in full when it ships. I had forgotten that aspect of it. So I was thinking of taking a lower down payment to ship it, and then taking a second and a third payment to pay it for it in full. And,
Let me show you something that might change your mind. AI?
all right, go for it. I'm out of here now.
All
Hey,
right,
Dale, or Shawn, are you ready? Go ahead.
I am. So here's a funnel I was telling you about earlier about a product called Slim Trade. All right. So after about 2 weeks of selling this product with a $39 deposit, I decided to test and see if people would prepay, which if I open up the prepay choice right here, you can see that for this particular time slot, 50% of my customers prepaid me $231,000, which more than covered the cost of the inventory for everybody who didn't prepay and the cost of my advertising.
Yeah, I
Just
remember
because
that.
I was willing to test it. And it was a $39 upfront offer. So
Right.
you can see where I split tested the different order forms here. My control was converting at 24%. Okay. And here's one I tested that did 19%. Here's one I tested that did 22%. What these were different prices. All right. Now here's the shocker. When you take this product right here was the collapsible handle. When I split tested this, I did it from $19 all the way to $149, and I converted more sales at $49 than I did at any other price, and the extra cost to me was zero. So this $22,000 in sales here was just free found money.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry, I must have had Seth's internet connection there. I got disconnected. Could have been the VPN, who knows.
You missed all the good stuff, Max. You're gonna have to watch the replay.
Oh, I'll watch it. But basically, so my question was, and I don't know if you answered it, but is it best to try to get them on the $2,700, get their payment, and then upsell them on to the $29 package for this? Or is that in this case of the $2,700 product? Because I think when I see Dale's form, it looks like it's $2,700, but before I even give my credit card information, I can see it could actually become $3,000, which might be the deterrent.
Exactly. So what I just zoomed in on you there was to give you a little bit of faith in my low down payment offer that did in 30 days over $1 million in sales with the average cart value of $676. This was for a $39 offer. And Dale's aware of this, and you know exactly how to put this together, Dale.
Yeah, I do.
So lower that barrier in the beginning so you get more people interacting with the offer, and then show them what their choices are. Because once I become a buyer, I don't care if it's $19.99 or $99, whatever it is, it's an easier pill to swallow than $2,700. And then now I'm your customer. Now show me anything you want to show me.
Right. And part of my funnel and how I put it together is based upon that very first question I asked you today, because I'm trying to figure out if I can defer the charge until they've added all of their upgrades on different pages. That would be a good way to do it.
Definitely. That's what I would do. But, and again, Dale, don't be afraid to try that on a small scale. If you're doing 1 or 2 sales a day, you can handle it. I wouldn't let that hold me back. Once you start getting a lot of action, a lot of traffic, then you go the other route and you start capturing the transaction after they've checked out, which is exactly what we had to do to stop all of those declined payments.
This is similar to what Shawn, you mentioned a couple of days ago about when you go buy your car. So, I think Dale, you don't go in to buy a $20,000 car, you go in to buy a $500 payment. And the $500 payment becomes a $545 a month because you get the upsells. So I think that probably puts it in perspective to me. I don't want to buy a $2,700 scooter. Right?
Yeah.
I want to buy a $600 or $300 or $49 scooter that I know I'm going to pay over in time. Because the smaller the number, the less, people love small numbers. Anytime I sold anything in my life, I always try to give the smallest number possible. It's only $65 a month. So it's $65.
Maybe you can get your prize, right?
Yeah, everything's the smallest common denominator, always.
That's it. Something to think about, Dale.
Okay, good. I appreciate all the input.
Good. All right. So did I fulfill all my promises when it comes to sales funnels, or did I leave something out?
Oh, yeah, you didn't share. I thought you were going to give us a couple of sample sales funnels.
Okay. Do you have, if you have a ClickFunnels account, I can share a funnel with you.
Now I got to get a ClickFunnels account. This way you're going to make money off me again, aren't you?
That's my goal, you cheapskate. You wouldn't even buy my $10 newsletter.
Oh, I tried yesterday, but you asked me for my credit card, and I said no. You didn't have Amazon Pay. I didn't trust you.
I'll put a PayPal exit pop on there.
I saw it. I didn't.
Get your ClickFunnels using the link or this website, meetshawnhart.com/CF offers. Email me and I'll hook you up with that funnel I showed you today. That'll give you a jump start. But remember, Max, you still have to, even if you import that funnel, you have to go in and change the SEO data on it, which is not the end of the world, but it's just a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, I'll have to get a course on how to do that, I guess.
I don't know where you could buy one of those, but if you email me, I can find it for you.
Something for sale or something for free?
Exactly. Don't worry. It's a low down payment.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do is the second week of every month, we're going to do an entire week of this Wildcard week. And I've thoroughly enjoyed this myself for the last 5 days. It's been pretty awesome. Even though we've only gotten about 7 words total out of Seth, at least he looks halfway handsome on the camera. I'm looking forward to next month. Seth, you have any parting words, buddy?
Yeah, I think that it went really good. If you guys, we don't have a day dedicated towards Amazon, but like Shawn has said tons of times, like I'll try to jump in and fill in where I can on the Amazon front. So I know a lot of you guys already have Amazon businesses, so don't be afraid to bring those questions to these events as well. So yeah, I think it went really good, Shawn. I'm looking forward to the next wild card week.
You and me both, buddy. All right, guys. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Hey,
thinking.
Max, did you remember your email address?
I gave it to Shawn, so Shawn, maybe you can send it privately.
Awesome.
Yeah, you gave it to me. Let me see.
I don't put it on the screen.
Did you send it to me in a private chat?
I sent it to you as in a chat, but I know this thing might end up on YouTube one day.
Oh, it'll be there within the hour.
I don't want my face or my name showing up anywhere.
Eric, give me your email address and I'll send it to Max.
There you go.
I will. Awesome. Thanks.
That's why he's got a shadow on his face. His face has been known to frequent post office walls.
But not in every state. Come on, Shawn.
All right, I got it. Okay.
You wonder why I have 2 passports. Anyway.
I remember sitting next to Max on Niwu on that Chinese special dinner that we had.
Oh yeah, that would have been Max.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. But I'm sorry, I don't remember you specifically, Eric. Did you learn anything?
Joe was right by my side.
Oh, okay. I think I remember you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Max, did you get Eric's emails? I just sent it in a private message to you.
Yeah, I got it now. And hey, listen, can you, I'm sorry, this is off topic, but can you get a hold of Alex and tell him to give me a shout?
I will. I'll send him a message.
He hasn't gotten back to me about our stuff from last week.
All right. I will. I'll tell him. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Got family stuff to do. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Be ready next month. We'll have some more goodies, and I'll share some more results. All right.
Thank you, Shawn.
See everyone.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.